You already know the trick. The punches are pulled. The blood is timed. Nobody in the building actually believes the rivalry is real. The winner was decided in a writer's room hours before the bell. Pro wrestling has never really pretended otherwise. The whole crowd is in on it. So most people give it one look, call it fake, and change the channel. It looks to almost everyone like the least serious business on television, and they miss the greatest magic trick of all. The fight is staged. The money is not. In fact, the money might be the most real, most predictable, most beautifully engineered money in all of entertainment. To see why, forget the ring for a second and look at a normal sports league. A real league looks powerful, but underneath, it's a business with almost no control over its own product. Its stars get hurt on live television, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. Its players can unionize and strike and switch off the entire sport for a year. One baseball fight once wiped out a whole championship. Lockouts have frozen entire seasons. Billion-dollar leagues shut down by their own workforce. And every single season, somebody has to lose, which means half your customers go home heartbroken, swearing off the sport until next year. Then the season ends, and for months, the money just stops. The stadiums go dark, and the whole enterprise holds its breath until opening day. And none of it happens at all unless you're paying to build, staff, and light enormous stadiums night after night, whether the seats sell or not. Concrete monsters that cost a fortune even when they sit empty. A traditional league is a magnificent machine that bleeds from a dozen wounds at once. Now, the twist. The one company everybody calls fake, the scripted one, the silly one, has quietly closed every single one of those wounds. On purpose. One by one. Start with the thing people mock the most. The outcomes are decided in advance. To a fan, that sounds like the con. To a business, it's a superpower. A real league crosses its fingers and hopes the final is a classic. And sometimes it's a lifeless blowout, decided by halftime, watched by nobody. WWE never hopes. It writes the ending, months in advance. The perfect rivalry, the slow burn betrayal, the villain you love to hate, the underdog who rises at the exact moment the crowd needs him to. All of it scripted, tuned, and guaranteed. There is no bad season because in a scripted world, there are no accidents, no upsets, no ratings disasters. And every piece of that story belongs to the company. The names, the personas, the costumes, the catchphrases, the finishing moves, those aren't the wrestlers. They're intellectual property sitting on a balance sheet. The performers aren't unionized employees, they're independent contractors playing characters the company owns. So when a superstar walks out the door, or simply gets older, the character he played can stay behind, recast or retired on the company's terms. The show is always bigger than any one person, because the show invented every one of them. And behind the weekly program sits something even more valuable. Decades of footage, tens of thousands of hours of matches and moments and characters. A vault of content that keeps earning, decade after decade, long after the crowd has gone home. And this machine has no off switch, no off season, no quiet months. 52 weeks a year, week after week after week, WWE manufactures fresh, live, can't-miss television, plus the giant spectacles like its own private Super Bowl, staged every single year that it never has to win a bid to host because it owns the whole event outright. It is a fire hose of original content that simply never, ever turns off. So they'd built the perfect content machine. But for most of its history, WWE still made its money the old, dangerous way, by owning the risk itself. It rented the arenas, it ran the endless tour. It sold each big night one pay-per-view at a time, praying enough people would reach for a credit card that exact evening. One weak card, one blizzard, one bad month, and the number cratered. Brilliant content, strapped to a fragile, unpredictable way of getting paid. Then they did the math and flipped the whole model upside down. Why gamble on filling a building when you could simply sell the show and let someone else worry about the seats? So WWE stopped being a company that sweats over ticket sales and pay-per-view buys and became a company that simply licenses its content to the highest bidder. and the buyers came running. In 2024, Netflix agreed to pay more than $5 billion. Not to buy the company, just for the rights to stream one weekly show for 10 years. Sit with that number. $5 billion signed and locked before a single match had aired. From that moment, the risk is Netflix's problem. Will people subscribe? Will they stay? WWE already got paid. And it wasn't just America. In most of the world, that single deal made Netflix the home of the show everywhere, all at once, overnight. And streaming is only half of it. When WWE brings its biggest nights to a city, the city very often pays them millions of dollars in what are politely called site fees, just for the privilege of hosting the crowds. Whole countries have signed deals worth hundreds of millions to bring the spectacle to their shores, turning a wrestling show into a tool of national tourism. Cities now bid against each other for these events the way they bid for a Super Bowl or an Olympics. Look how upside down that is. The stadium used to be the heaviest cost of all. Now the stadium pays them to show up. Every direction that risk used to flow, the WWE simply reversed the arrows. And this is the part that makes serious investors lean all the way in. None of these are one-night paydays you have to go out and re-earn next week. They're multi-year contracts signed years ahead of time, which means WWE can tell you today, almost to the dollar, how much money will land 2, 3, 4 years from now. Long before a single camera switches on, before a single match is even written. Wall Street doesn't just like that kind of certainty. It pays a premium for it. Most of show business is a nervous bet on whether the next thing lands. WWE quietly turned its revenue into something closer to a subscription. No, better than that. A tax. A high-margin, contractually guaranteed tax on sports entertainment. And the largest media platforms on Earth now line up, cash in hand, to pay it. Now look at what this whole trick leaves behind. Every heavy, risky, expensive part, the arenas, the box office, the gamble on ticket sales, got quietly handed to somebody else. What WWE kept for itself is the light, golden part. The characters, the stories, the library, the contracts. Build the show once, then license it. To a streamer here, a government there, a brand new platform next year. The same content, licensed again and again and again, at profit margins a company that owns arenas and airplanes and ticket booths could never come close to. That's what asset light actually means. You own the one thing everyone else is forced to rent. And in 2023, they doubled down, merging with the UFC into a single company called TKO, stacking the two most valuable libraries in all of live combat. The scripted spectacle and the real cage fight, under a single roof, and aiming both of them straight at those same hungry, churn-terrified streaming buyers. Because here's the real source of the power. Every streaming platform on Earth is terrified of exactly one thing: you canceling. And live, weekly, everybody's talking about it content is the strongest glue ever invented against that fear. You can put off a prestige drama for a month and binge it whenever you like. You cannot wait a week to watch wrestling. The result is live, the internet is merciless, and the whole ending will be spoiled by breakfast. That makes WWE something a platform can't comfortably live without, and can't simply build for itself. Which is exactly why they pay billions, and exactly why they'll pay again and again, at the next renewal and the one after that. And that's the lesson hiding underneath all the pyro and the body slams. The crowd sees a fake fight. The smart money sees a very real monopoly, an unkillable, one-of-a-kind library of content that the giants of distribution are forced to come and buy, over and over, just to stop their own customers from drifting away. So don't chase the businesses burning cash to fight for every last new customer. Learn to spot the quiet ones that own the thing nobody else can stop paying for. Because the outcome, it turns out, really was written in advance. Just not the one you were watching in the ring. And learning to look past the loud consumer hype to spot these hidden, high-margin, asset-light monopolies early is the ultimate secret to finding the next generational compounder. Which is exactly what Moat is built for. It rates thousands of stocks on the two things that matter most: how strong the moat is and how much you'd pay for it. quality times valuation on one simple scorecard, so you can spot the widening moats that are actually trading at a fair price. Check out MoatScope at the link below and go find your next compounder.